Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Michael for Spirit Comics. Welcome to another comic book review. If you are new to my channel, please do subscribe and smash that bell like She-Hulk so you'll be notified each time there's a new upload. And also, if you enjoy this comic book review, like it and share it with your friends so they can enjoy it as well. And please do leave your comments down below. Now this is Unnatural number 2 by, and I don't speak Italian, so I'm probably gonna get this name wrong. I do apologize. America Androff. She's an Italian writer and artist. She wrote this, and she did not do the artwork for this cover. Honestly, this is a variant cover. I got this one because it was just so cute. And this is put out on Image Comics. I don't buy from them. And I haven't bought from them since 1995. So, this is new for me, getting something from Image Comics. And Unnatural number 1 was great. It was fun, it was cute, and it was even serious in parts that needed to be serious. Now, of course, that's Leslie Pig and her roommate, Trish, who I think is a mouse. I forgot what I said she was in the first issue. Okay, now here we open up. This is a court setting about two people who are being tried because they basically went against the laws of the land. Yes, these two people here. This is the woman. She looks like a gray fox, sorta, and this looks like this is the man. Looks like a cat, because in this universe of Unnatural, it is against the law for one species to have relations with another species. For like this one here, like this gray fox and this cat, that's against the law in their world. That, and according to this, that two-time offenders will face the death penalty. Now, in our world, in our real world, this would be like a person of color being married to someone who was Caucasian. And so this is what these two are being tried for. And this is their leader, who says all animals are equal as long as they respect the law and nature. So it's against their law and against nature in this world for, say, like here, like it shows here, a wolf and a cat to have relations. And of course, there's some people that are upset about this, and some people who are supporting them, and some people who are just calling them, well, deviants, perverts, because this man and this woman love each other and want to be together, but they're from different species. And so, because you have, the names are Bosch and Sinclair. See, I can't remember who's Bosch and who's Sinclair. I'm guessing the woman is Sinclair. And this is, very profound, because this is something we do not see in today's world. We do not see, that it's immoral for a man to marry a woman. We don't see that as of yet, anyway. But we don't see it currently. And a man and a woman together is no problem, but they are from different species. Because maybe the man is a pig, because look at that nose. But I'm still thinking the woman's a gray fox. And the man says, "You want to know what I think, Dana?" And that's referring to this interviewer who's from RNN. I can imagine what that's a parody of. A news network that I don't watch. It says, "You think we're done? We're fighting this verdict." He says, "The slaughterhouse and the leader." And this one person says, "Damn right, down with the leader." And then this cop comes in and says, "That's enough, freak." Bam! Police brutality there. But, if he hadn't stepped in, the situation would have gotten a lot worse. And over on the opposing page, who's watching this newscast? Leslie Pigg. It's late at night. And and it's her roommate, Trish, who comes in and asks what is she watching? And she says, "Oh, nothing, Trish. I'm just in a trance. Feels like couldn't sleep at all last night." And then her roommate, Trish, says something that's so really funny. She says, "I can tell your pillow's dry." Now, if you saw my review of issue 1, it opened up with a dream sequence that Leslie Pigg was having. Her wearing some sort of veil, knelt on her knees, and a white wolf was, holding her, embracing her, and so on, and that had her drooling on a pillow, which Trish would not let her live down. And she sees that Leslie's watching the news, and she says, shut that off, because it'll, it says it'll ruin your appetite. And, I have to agree with that. And says that she's got to eat something. But the poor girl, she is so upset. She says, "I'm good, Trish, thanks." And she's shocked because she brings in sushi. And Leslie loves sushi, as it was established in the first issue. And she says, "I'm just not hungry." And why is this? Well, we're going to see here in a page. And, Trish is listening. I mean, you've got to love those big mouse ears. And, Leslie, talking about how she's now 25 and she's now got to go to that reproduction program since she hasn't found, a man for her by the age of 25. And Trish is trying to be positive about it. But in my opinion, I think Trish has been sort of brainwashed by this stuff. She says, don't be like that. How could he not like your big, beautiful eyes? And of course, Trish is referring to the match that this reproduction program has found for Leslie Pig. And not to mention your cool blue hair. And she's trying to cheer her up, and that's what a good friend does. And then this is so funny. Trish says, "Hey, if I can put up with you for this long, I'm sure someone else can do it for one dinner, I promise." And Leslie is like, "Thanks, Trish. That was almost friendly." And she says she's joking. She's trying to cheer her up. And Trish is like, if it doesn't work out, you just go on to the next one. And Leslie's saying, I'd love to see it your way, but it's not that simple for me. And why? Well, she's going to tell us here in a little bit. But Trish is saying, sure it is. I can't wait to get real love for myself. And she's talking about the application for, the phone. And the program, traditional couples, they really work. Think about it. And sometimes, in our world, traditional couples do work, and sometimes they don't. And Trish says if they didn't, we wouldn't be here. We'd never have been born. Just saying. And she's got a point there. But, Leslie is correct. Sometimes everything doesn't work out. Because she's remembering back to when she was just a very young piglet. She says, sure, Trish, I guess you're right. Trying to go along with her. So this is a dream. This is not a dream sequence. This is a flashback to when Leslie was a little girl. Her dad promised that she could come along on his business trip, apparently. And Leslie is sick at this point, so she can't go anywhere, and she wants to go with her dad because he promised, and she's been looking forward to it, and he's telling her that he knows he promised and he's sorry, but she needs to drink her medication. And she says, no, I don't want to, you're mean. And her mom says, plus Daddy's going on a business trip. Honey, not a vacation. All that running around. And the dad, says, go on, listen to your mother, because you just might get sicker. And he says, next month, you'll be okay. And, then they can go. And little Leslie is like, And so they tell her that they love little Leslie, and she's put to bed. She's so cute, even in this flashback, and she wakes up because she has to go to the bathroom, and it's cold, so she puts on her slippers, and the faster that she goes to the bathroom, the faster she'll get back in her bed. But then, as she's going to the bathroom, she sees something and hears something. Oh, my love, is Daddy already home? And you can see how big her eye is. That's like surprise, astonishment. Well, maybe not astonishment. But this is in the master bedroom where the husband and wife sleep. And this is the mother. She is cheating on her husband. You know, and the other guy says, "Quiet, Maxine. You'll wake up your daughter." And she says, "We're fine. With that much cold medicine, nothing could wake her up." And so she goes on to the wife goes on to tell her lover, who is not a pig, therefore she's breaking the law, that how much she hates the husband, but because the dude says, "You really hate him that much?" And let's see, and she calls himself she calls him an idiot, and she thinks that the husband's probably doing the same thing on his business trip. And the wife says to her lover that she wants him, but she doesn't know what she'd do without the benefits that she gets for being married to Phil, who is her husband. And there you can see little Leslie's eyes crying as she watches her mother cheat on her daddy with someone else who is not a pig. And so Leslie's been telling this to her roommate Trish, and says arranged same-species marriages don't always go well, Trish. I don't want that to be me. And Trish goes on saying that doesn't always happen. And she says, "I used to be a rebel when I was younger, but the reproduction program is good." So she's trying to convince Leslie that it's going to be okay, because you can see and you can tell from Leslie's words that she really is worried about this. And she basically says, Trish says that if she meets an idiot and the dude acts like a real jerk, that she'll stick her foot up his ass if it doesn't work out. So Leslie goes to the computer to check to see if there's any email, and there is one from the reproduction program. And they found a match, but they won't give the picture. So that still makes Leslie worried about this. And her friend that we met, Derek, the goat boy from issue 1, is going to take her there. And so they ride in the car, and this is the place. Real love. So she's thinking to herself, well, here we are, Leslie Blair. So now we get the last name, Leslie Blair. Man, the reproduction program, this is worse than waiting to see if I got into college, and just as much pressure. And so she gets a text message from her roommate Trish wishing her good luck. And at the same time, Trish is at her job. She's trying to find something that will help Leslie. She's looking on the internet, and her boss calls her on it. because she's really concerned about Leslie. She's having these weird dreams where she's making out with this huge hunk, white wolf. And in their universe, that's against the law. Wolf with a pig. That's interspecies. So she goes to this old bookstore, and it doesn't even have a door, just a, if you can see this, a curtain. So she walks in, starts looking around, and someone asks if she can help her, and she starts talking to this librarian, who is in fact a panda, a cute panda. And this lady says that she might have something that could help her. So here we get a little bit of a plot twist. Trish wants to help, and Leslie is going to the reproduction program. And then someone speaks to her and surprises her. And it's like a counselor who works at the center. And he can see that she's worried. So he pats her on the back and says, just relax. And says it's completely normal to be a little nervous. She said, and you're about to go through a big life change. But he's there to help. So, meanwhile, back at the bookstore, the panda librarian and Trish go to another part of her library, where the librarian shows her this book where it has pictures of this wolf holding what looks like a pig or a similar type creature here. And she says that she received it from somebody who came abroad, I believe. And the story tells of a wonderful forgotten land. That the book is very rare, since its contents would be considered against nature, unnatural. And Trish cannot believe how much this looks like the wolf that Leslie describes in her dreams, and how much this appears to be Leslie, even though it's not. And so she's going to borrow the book, and she's going to try to contact the author. And meanwhile, at the reproduction facility, Leslie is inside. She's nervous as can be. Outside, there's a hooded figure. Now, if you recall from the first issue, there was a hooded figure watching Leslie while she was working at this diner. So 3 police officers come up behind the dude and say, "Hey, you!" And it says, "Something wrong, officer?" And he says, "You've been hanging around out here since that new piglet arrived. Something tells me you two aren't friends. So what are you? Some kind of stalker? Fatal attraction type?" And the other officer says, "You know what, don't answer. We'll figure it out ourselves. Let's see your identification, sicko." So in their world, it literally is sick. It's a deviance for, say a tiger to mate with another species that's not a tiger. That's maybe. And the dude says, "I'm sure this is just some misunderstanding. I'm sorry that I've left. I don't have my identification. And so the officer says, right. It looks like we can figure it out together down at the station. Let's go, hoodie. And so it starts. And so on the next page, the hooded figure says, let's not. Bam! Cocks the police officer upside the head, smacking him good. And he gets away. But something is left behind. And this officer says, wait, what the hell is this? Are you stalking that pig or hunting her? Because the hooded figure was carrying a gun. And that's the end of issue 2. And there's some extra sketches in here, but I'm not going to show them to you. You'll have to buy this to see those extra beautiful sketches yourself. I loved it. I was thoroughly entertained by it. It was fun, but it was a little bit more serious than the first issue. That did not detract from the story at all. It's just giving us more detail about what's going on in this young girl's life. I would highly recommend that you check out, that you get issue number 2 and number 1 if you haven't got it yet. Go to your local comic shop and say, I want this. And, check out my review of issue number 1. I will have it linked, down below. And possibly up above as well. So I thank you for stopping by. I'm Michael for Spirit Comics. I do ask that you subscribe to my channel if you're a first time visitor. And please do smash that bell like She-Hulk so you'll be notified each time there is a new upload. Also, don't forget to like and share this video with others so they can enjoy it as well. And don't forget to leave your comments. Thank you everyone for stopping by and hanging out with me. Till next time, true readers, keep reading and supporting your local comic shop. I'm Michael for Spirit Comics.